I converted the oh my God. Oh. So this little girl from a small tiny little island was exposed to fashion magazines that her sister used to send her from Trinidad. And I looked at these magazines, and I think I was also exposed to the Enquirer and Stars, etc., including these, because she used to work with people in a domestic capacity that exposed her to these magazines. So when they threw them out, she would grab them and she would send them to me. I don't know why. Probably because she thought it might be something good for me to see, or she probably wasn't even thinking about it, but it was just because she knew I like fashion too and couldn't afford magazines. So yeah, I used to collect a bunch of these, and I thank her to date for exposing me to what fashion is, at the same time to what style is, because I'm about style, not necessarily fashion, but they go hand in hand, right? But for me, I see the differences where, as in fashion, you always want to be on top of things, always churning out stuff and grabbing the trends, and yeah, but for me, it's styling the trends that I love and converting them into my classics because they suit my body type and I love them. So from there, my love for fashion grew and escalated to the point where I used to even like take scissors to some of my mom's stuff. That one day I made her cry because I cut up one of her striped green, see, I've loved green for a long time, a striped, vertically striped green v-neck, long 3/4 sleeve jersey sweatshirt kind of material. And she cried because I put a scissors to it and she saw total destruction. Whereas I saw reinvention, creativity, and not being too malleable to how somebody made something for me, but me reinventing it and reinvigorating life, new life, or new way of wearing it. I replaced it years later, not the same thing, but in terms of hopefully monetary contribution. But it's hard to see your mom cry, whereas you think I lived with that guilt for years. But anyway, it was the beginning of my, oh, still makes me cry thinking that she cried. Yeah. And she passed on 2 years ago, and I know she was happy because I was able to make some of her dreams come true. So I'm happy for that at least. Yeah. So yes. So actually I would not take credit for everything, her happiness, because everybody in the family contributed in some way to her happiness. So I was happy to see her. Yeah. All she wanted though was her kids around her during her final years on earth. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, my love for fashion stemmed from my sister and her exposing me to those magazines. So over the years, I have learned about the houses and brands that I absolutely like. At the same time, I gravitated towards what I like without actually knowing that whether or not these brands were powerhouses. Today, I said all that to say this. One, welcome to my channel, and if you love me and love my vibes and love my messaging, please hit the subscribe button. Even if you don't like my vibes and my messaging, still watch me and still give me a begrudging like or whatever. Yeah. Or make a comment. Yeah. Maybe I could switch my vibe up. You never know. But anyway, do something with your fingers. Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, so it exposed me to so many fashion houses that I have learned to filter and know actually my style to date. So that's why today I'm going to share with you my Dior pieces that I gravitated to over the years, that I just bought, some of them not even knowing. Particularly this piece, I wasn't paying attention to Dior when I bought this piece. I love strapless top. I love anything that shows the décolletage as well as the clavicle, and so I bought it. That's the sole reason I bought this piece. Then I realized it says Dior. Then I checked and I realized, oh my God, that's much later on. This is vintage. Or it should be, because I've had it for quite a while. Yeah. But if it's not vintage, it is very close to vintage. But anyway, so I discovered that one day in the magazine, years later, I saw Rihanna in this top and realized, oh my God, it must be really, really good. And then later on, I realized that I kept gravitating towards Dior because I saw an ad one day and I saw Charlize Theron. And she's like, j'adore. And I'm like, j'adore. Yes, I love it. And that was how I realized that I love Dior without even knowing that it was such a powerhouse. So I'm going to share the pieces that are in my closet. And guys, as much as I love Dior, I have never gone crazy because there are items I definitely would never buy. And the fact that it's under this umbrella, this house, LVMH, that I don't really have much admiration for, and the fact that these days there's so many issues that are resurfacing because labor issues are resurfacing. And mind you, not that they ever died. They have always been there, lying underneath, being ignored over years upon years. They have always been there. And they won't go away until we stop our conspicuous consumption. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant, but it's true. I'm just saying, we are often too willfully blind to these issues. And I really don't admire the content creators that are just turning a blind eye because they love a brand. I love you, but I'm not going to love your fault. I will not turn a blind eye to your faults. I'm sorry. If you want to hold me accountable for something, I will also hold you accountable. Because I'm not perfectly sustainable. I still use plastic, but to a minimum. There are some things that you still have to try to have in plastic. Plastic has a role, but it's the overchurning. It's the overproduction of it Because, for example, when it comes, and I'm going on a tangent here, and I'm well aware of it, so go with me. There are some things that you definitely have to have in plastic where it comes to life and death. For example, for fishing, the rods, they're made out of plastic. I could excuse that, because I love fish. That's one thing. That, to me, is bringing food on my table. It's life-saving. Nets that are made out of nylon and plastic, yes, that's one thing. So that's why I want to keep plastic to the necessary evils. Although fishing is not an evil, but overfishing could be. But yeah, but anyway, let's go back to the pieces I have from one of the brands that I just gravitated to without even knowing it's a powerhouse. Because for me, whatever the brand is, I really don't care. I'm into quality. I'm into fabric, fit, and style. That's my mantra, and I'm gonna stick with it. So anyway, the first Dior piece I bought is, of course, this, and it's 100% cotton. Absolutely fell in love with it because it also incorporate colors that, yeah, me, green goddess here, yeah. Yeah. And guys, the second thing that came into my closet is this. I believe it's this. And this is, of course, vintage, because I buy vintage. I am not one that's into the newly produced items, because you know my reason. Yeah, I'm not into newly produced items, regardless sometimes of how pretty it is. Even if I see newly produced item on the second-hand market, I still don't gravitate to them as much. They don't do anything for me. They don't turn me on at all. And you have to turn me on in order for me to gravitate towards you. So this I love. It's a wallet. A clutch, actually. The person I bought it from said it's a clutch. It came with the dust bag. And yeah, inside has this gorgeous color. And it has these slots details. And I'm going through this essentially just to tell you that it's very, very Dior. You see it and you know it's Dior. So I'm not even going to go into whether it's the canage design and elements associated with it. But if you know Dior, you'll know this is very, very indicative of what Dior is all about. So when I saw this, I thought that it was a really nice evening piece out, and it's not that very out there. It's a simple D. The hardware is it's like old rust kind of. So anyway, I love the low-key hardware. It's not in your face like bright. It's very but senior moment is real right now. But anyway, the inside is printed Dior, and this one is fabric. And you know me, I don't really love fabric lining. Yeah, I don't like that. But this was my first step into Dior and luxury. I actually think it's my first luxury purchase. So that's why I never paid attention. And I realize now that, yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to the internal lining. But I am highlighting these pieces in my closet to give you information as well as to let you know whether or not I recommend them. If you are one of those get together on the weekends or evenings girls and you are low-key, you just want to go out and have something very cute under your arm. It was a wristlet, and I moved the wristlet to the other side and hook it over here, so I now have a little bag, and I love it that way. So if you're one of those kind of girls that go to galas, these are pieces that you could definitely buy on the second-hand market, and they're sleek. I like east-west and square silhouettes, so those are what look flattering on me. So for that's the reason why I also gravitated towards it. So yes, this looks very distressed. The hardware looks distressed. That's the word I was looking for. It looks distressed. So I love that about it. It holds a bit, and that's the reason why I also could recommend this in that sense. Those are the positives. But at the same time, because of the depth of it, you cannot really hold much because it would not close. And this is another issue. When you stuff it too much, it doesn't close as great, for reason being that this popper is very weak. I don't know if this is from just wearing or if it was bought that way, because I reached out to the seller about it, and she was adamant that it's in great. She sent it, but it's very weak. See how easy it pops out? And I don't hear that satisfactory click that I love to hear from my poppers. Yeah, it's not as satisfactory. It doesn't do much for me there. And it opens pretty easily, like, see? So yeah, I don't like that, but at least if you're careful with it, it's functional, and I still have it in my closet because I wanted to return it and I didn't. So it's because I do like it. But would I recommend it? I would recommend it only if it has a strong popper. So when you go shopping, look for whether or not this is a piece that has a strong popper. And if you don't carry much and you're one of those girls, one of those gala weekender girls that like to go to their, hang out, have dinner, yeah, if that's you, if that's your lifestyle, very much go for it. This is the second piece I bought. Guys, I absolutely love the details. The details on this piece just got me. First is the two-tone metal. Anyone who says they don't mix metal, they're missing out. But it's okay. I love mixing metals. I find it really, really chic, different, unique, elegant. And I love that. I absolutely love this piece. And another thing I love is the strap drop. Yeah. Another detail I love on this piece, you see the corners? It's not gonna get corner wear because they made these bags to last. This bag, I'm sure it's a probably 60s bag, but it's standing the test of time. I just love it. And yes, of course, the east-west, I just love that. The details. And what I've discovered is that they took so much time. Look at all the end details of the strap, they have hardware on them that are well secured. Even to undo this, you have to unwind here, guys. You have to unwind it here. It's fastened. Do they make bags like that anymore? No. What they do these days, you squeeze and pop out. Yeah, those are the strap handles these days. But guys, these were made to just last. Another gorgeous element is the inside. Of course, it's made from leather. Yes. Look at these details, guys. Honestly, it's an amazing piece that I absolutely love. It has 2 pockets inside. I got some money. Yeah, 2 pockets inside, and it's just beautiful. And the added touch, that's why I love 60s pieces, guys. A coin purse, guys. Actually, I'll just put my coin in it. What was I thinking? I'm not utilizing the bag. Yes, a coin purse. Let me introduce my coin. Guys, and it still has that click, that satisfactory click that just really, really makes me, guys, I love this piece. It's not going anywhere, and yes, it makes the song that I love. Listen. Did you hear that? If you see this on the second-hand market, if you are one of those lucky persons to come across this, it's a buy. Absolutely an amazing piece, timeless, that wouldn't go anywhere. The details on the bag is similar to what Dior did here on this. You see the details? The next piece I bought were these pair of shoes. Guys, I watched these shoes for about a year because I couldn't afford them, and the woman would not budge because they are barely worn. And these shoes, they are just orgasmic, I swear. They are absolutely stunning. And unfortunately for me, I bought them a little too big. So, yeah, I thought that because of the fact that one of the Dior pieces I have, I've heard that sometimes they could run a little bit small. So I thought that this would fit. I am wearing inserts with it right now, but I think that I may end up selling it, and somebody offered me a really good price for it. I should have sent it, but I wasn't. I should have sold it, but I wasn't ready to let it go because, guys, it's just a good looking shoes, honestly, and it's not very high, and that's what I love about it. But it's on my Poshmark, but I don't know if I'm gonna I have to let it go. But yeah, absolutely love this piece. If you see this, and I've seen a couple variations on the second-hand market, definitely it's a buy because the heel height is very comfortable and the shoe is just a showstopper. It's a showstopper, honestly. Yeah, it's a buy for me. The next piece, it's this piece. these are the next piece that came into my wardrobe. And you would notice a common trend. I do love the Dior hardware. Absolutely love them. And this, guys, this, yeah. It's just one of those shoe stoppers. I don't know. Guys, seriously. Dior does good in making shoes. And these are so amazingly great that you would be stopped every single time you're wearing these. And that's not the reason why I bought them. I bought them because at the time I had hurt my ankle and the shoe height was definitely given. And the beauty, of course, of the shoe, it looks like bare legs depending on your skin tone. So if you see this, it does run small. So definitely go a size up for you. And if you have very skinny calves, skinny legs, it's a buy. If you have thick legs, no. If you have thick calves and the circumference is also pretty narrow, it's not for you. So pay attention to that. But it's one of the one of the best buys that I have in my closet. The last, oh no, I'll show you the last piece just now. But this piece, this is a piece that I also bought to when I'm going to the Caribbean to take my makeup, put them in the bag. But I found that I really like it. And this is another piece that sometimes I would say could also be piece that you could wear. Piece that you could wear as a night out piece and nobody knows. You just empty it. So yeah, and it has lots of space to put your wallet and any other essentials that you may have. It has so much space. And it has the canage look on it. So I love that about this piece. Of course, it's plastic. It's not like it's anything made of the greatest of fabric, but it's a beauty piece. So it's a piece that I could wear when it's raining, like in the Caribbean, you know, it's raining. You don't really want to take your leather purse or any other purses. So you could just throw your stuff in it and out the door, really. Or you could use leather. Water doesn't do anything to this. That's why I love leather. But anyway, guys, so yeah, the last piece in my collection though, and I got it about a year ago, is this. It's this Dior Man's Vintage Belt. It's, yeah, maybe a year or 2 years ago, I got this piece. And I've been wearing it non-stop. It's such a great piece for my workwear. It's very low-key, and at the same time, I find that it really amplifies an outfit. So I absolutely love this piece. So it's a piece that you could wear on black. It has a black side, so you could turn it around. So if you see these pieces, and there are many, there are tons. I actually have a couple more that I have my eyes on. There are tons of these belts out there. They last. They last you. So I love their designs. So this is also part of the Dior pieces. I got this as part of Upcycled, and I fell in love with it the second I saw it. Yes, it's definitely costume, and it has the tendency to turn green, but it's okay. It's that brassy aged Was it upcycled or was it original? I'm not sure, but it's really well constructed, really well done. So yeah, you've seen this a million times on me because I love to wear costume jewelry with interesting details as opposed to like gold and silver. I don't like regular rings because my fingers are so skinny. So I had to wear interesting pieces to make my hands look interesting. So yeah, this piece is a gorgeous piece. I love. And these days, I would state that pieces are being, they are being, designers these days are looking to the archives of these fashion houses to copy, replicate, or dupify. Dupify is my coinage. These pieces, these styles, and these silhouettes and looks. So you could never go wrong by buying vintage. And what's the snub about when it comes to vintage anyway? Yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you got inspired, and I hope that you may try the second-hand market. Look for pieces that are unique and that are you, and not to just go buy stuff because it's trending. For me personally, and this is no shade to anyone, personally, when I look at the collections that I see now, the luxury collections that I see on YouTube, not many people are that different. Everybody almost have the same thing. You see one person's collection and almost everybody has the same thing. Unless they are vintage. I mainly watch a lot of vintage YouTubers as well. And I find that they have some amazing pieces. Oh my God. So yeah. Anyway, I'll be sharing my Louis Vuitton pieces. You would note I'm not calling them a collection. These are pieces that I gravitated to and bought for different reasons. Not necessarily sometimes because when it comes to Louis, I'll explain to you why I bought some of these pieces. So I'll see you in that video.